All right, it's Memorial Day weekend, and I've got a great collection of discounted summer appropriate fragrances. Highly discounted, over 50% off. Some really great fragrances here that I'm going to tell you about. And these are going to be perfect to wear all summer long. So I felt like it was great to do this weekend and to, get your fragrance planning done and fragrances ordered for the coming summer months. So we've got about 20 fragrances after the outro. I've also got a few fragrances that I've found that I personally do not own, and I'm going to talk to you about those as well. They're really great deals, testers and things like that, so they're really, really highly discounted. So let's get started with the list. We're talking about Perris Monte Carlo's Bergamotto di Calabria. So normally this is $210 for 100 ml. We've got a deal here for $100 for 100 ml. And bergamot is the ultimate in fresh citruses for the summer. It's a great citrus used in perfumery quite a bit. You'll see it as a top note most of the time, or it takes center stage for a bergamot focused fragrance. This to me is super tart, also very aromatic and spicy, and there's woods in the base as well. And it's a great, refreshing, invigorating, sparkling, citrus focused fragrance and focusing on the bergamot. So bergamot, again, is one of my favorite citrus fruits. And it's kind of like the cure-all for all citrus. I'm sorry, not citrus, but all fragrances, because they need a top note that's fresh. And 9 out of 10 times you'll see bergamot. But this is about the bergamot, so it's got the most prominent usage of the note, along with spices, woods, aromatics, and things like that. So it's currently $100 for 100 ml. If you go to Neiman's and buy that for suggested retail, it's $210, although I don't think Neiman's is selling Perris anymore. I got one more fragrance from this collection, something a bit warmer. It's Arancia de Sicilia. So taking the citruses, which is orange, and into a bit more warmer direction. So if you don't like that tart astringency of the Bergamotto di Calabria, you can go with something a bit warmer. And it's oranges, sweet citrus up top, and developing into a bit more gourmand, kind of warm, cookie-esque, caramelly kind of vanillic texture in the dry down. So it starts off fresh, but it's a sweet citrus, not astringent like the Bergamotto. And then it becomes, warmer, a bit more cozy. This one, I think, if you're fine with it, wear it. It's a summer appropriate fragrance, but perhaps save it for your cooler evenings if you have issues with potency of the kind of fragrances you like to wear seasonally. But this is cheaper. It's 100 ml for $85, normally 100 ml for $210. So you get a better deal on this one. It's a great price, and both of them are 50% off, but I think the Arancia de Sicilia is, I think, closer to 60% off, if not 60% off. So great deals on those, perfect summer fragrances. I've got one more here for you from the house of Rosendo Mateu. This is number 3, Neroli, Iris, and White Musk. So it's a powdery citrus floral fragrance with an overdose of musk in the base. This is normally $200 plus for these fragrances, but it is selling for $90 currently. Neroli is the ultimate in fresh fragrances for, summer wear. I love Neroli because I love the citrus fruits in general. I like the flowers, the fruits themselves, the leaves. They all have a very distinct, very citrus focused smell to them. And this one is about the Neroli, so it's the orange blossoms. And of course, you also have powdery iris and white musk. It's super clean and citrusy, but it doesn't get very effervescent as much. I mean, there are those qualities here. I think the iris's powdery effect kind of tones that down, but it's super, super gorgeous. It's an underrated one from Rosendo Mateu, but Rosendo Mateu number 3 is quite gorgeous, especially if you like the combo of citruses with iris and a musky base. If you love citruses with powdery fragrances, you've got to definitely check this one out. It's currently $90 for 100 ml. And I don't know what's going on with their distribution, but I think generally the fragrances of Rosendo Mateu in these numbered bottles are $200 plus for a bottle. So you're definitely saving more than 50% off on this. And the combo is super awesome. So that's Rosendo Mateu number 3, Neroli, Iris, White Musk. I've got a non-standard summer fragrance here. This is Juliette Has a Guns Not a Perfume Superdose. In tester, it's 100 ml for $80. Normally, it's 170 for this. So this is basically taking their very popular minimalistic fragrance, not a perfume, and overdosing it with like amber woods and ambroxan. So if you like that simplistic kind of touch of the synthetic note of ambroxan, I think in this case it's Cetylox, and the way it smells, kind of powdery, dry, woody, musky, a little maybe aquatic marine thrown in because they're trying to replicate the smell of ambergris, which to me they don't smell anything alike. But this kind of notes or these kind of fragrances have become very popular, and this is a very minimalistic version of it, but super dosed, as in like it's intensified with the quantity of that ingredient they're using in this. I personally love it. It's a great layering tool as well, but you definitely have a smell. If you can't smell not a perfume, the original, you'll definitely smell this. And if you don't like ambroxan or those kind of notes, you might not like this. But if you like the simplicity of those kind of fragrances and also use them to layer with other fragrances, because all the three fragrances I've spoken about so far, you can use this, make it as your base note, let it dry, spray it, let it dry, and spray the others, and you can intensify and, do a bit of a mixology type thing to boost up those very citrus forward fragrances. So I think this is, if you are a fan of anything like ambroxan, it's a staple to have in your collection to use minimalistically or to use as a booster primer, as I said, or just to use to create new fragrances by layering. So that's a really great deal. 100 ml for $80 as a tester. Normally it's 170. I don't think it's like super awesome deal like the previous fragrances, but still it's a pretty darn good deal for a tester for $80. But this next one's an even better deal. Really, really awesome deal. Check this one out. This is from the Alchemist Garden. This is Rosa Incandescente. It's a fairly new fragrance from Gucci. 100 ml for $151. Normally it's $400 for this. So it's really highly discounted. This is also a bit more complex than your typical, freshie. This is a very deep rose, dark rose, but it's laced with marine and mineralic touches. So if you like that idea, I kind of like this because generally I don't like marine notes. Something has changed, and I think they're learning how to make marine notes without the usage of the very synthetic and sulfuric smelling Cologne note. So it's pleasant. You have the touch. It's a bit more like seaweed, algae, and not like that really suffocating smell of Cologne. But there's a lot of rose here. It's very dry. It's a deep rose. And there's, aromatic touches in here and spices and woods as well. Maybe a little bit of amber. But really nicely balanced with the marine notes or minerally notes that are in here as well. But it's a great price for a fragrance from this line, because these are over $100. I'm sorry, over $400 for these. It's suggested retail price. For $151, it's a great deal, I think. You just have to be into rose and minerally marine notes. And just keep in mind, it's not super fresh, so there's some depth with that one as well. So for $151, 100 ml, normally $400 for 100 ml. I think it's a steal. Let's go to two Acqua di Parma fragrances from the Blue Mediterraneo collection. Let's go to Mirto di Panarea first. Myrto is the usage of myrtle as a flower. It's interesting, myrtle has a little berry on that grows, and it's a delicacy where I'm from. So having eaten myrtle berries, you kind of know the taste of the myrtle flowers because it's a very floral berry. Because to me, it smells like the berry that I've eaten and consumed. Excuse me. Too many bottles here. So if you like the idea of myrtle as a fruit and you like the smell of the flowers, this is one of the best examples of myrtle in a fragrance. Mirto di Panarea is awesome. And it's part of it's a Mediterranean plant. And I'm from the Mediterranean, so I'm very, very familiar with the flavor. So I think this basically puts that flavor into perfume form. And it's very fresh. It's floral. It's a bit aromatic. It's a flower, but it's not your typical like tuberose. It's not like gardenia or jasmine. It's more aromatic and spicy. So it acts more like a spicy aromatic herb and spice rather than a full-on flower. But it's super fresh. There's green touches in here, very spicy. And to me, this is a great price as well. It's a 200 ml, not this size, double the size for $110. The 200 ml normally sells for $299, so almost $300. So it's almost it's a major discount on these, and it's great to have something like this. It's not super heavy and weighty to wear. It's a very distinct smell. And again, next to Fico de Amalfi, which I'm getting to next, Mirto de Panarea is my second favorite from the line. And again, those of you that have eaten myrtle berries would know the taste. And if you want it in a perfume form, you have it here with this fragrance, Acqua di Parma's Mirto de Panarea. But let's go to Fico de Amalfi as well. This is a 200, and this is 100 ml. Wait, no, this is... Actually, you know what? I have to be honest. Acqua di Parma changed all their bottle sizes. These are both 150 ml bottles. So it's not 100, it's not a 200. They no longer have the 150 ml, I believe. Now they have 200 and 100. So this is 150, but the deal for both of these fragrances is for a 200 ml for $110. So you're getting a 200 ml of juice for $110, and normally it's about $300. And Fico de Amalfi is probably one of the most popular fig-focused fragrances. It's mostly fruity for me. Very fresh, but there are some green elements of the leaves and the tree in there as well, because that bitterness when you smell it. But it's super uplifting and happy and bright and juicy, fruity and green fragrance, perfect for a very easy, breezy, lazy summer day. And spritz that stuff on, and you'll be transported to the Mediterranean, because these blue Mediterranean fragrances from Acqua di Parma are basically inspired by the Mediterranean, and they definitely do a great job. If you've ever been to the Mediterranean and you know the smells of the environment there, the Mirto de Panarea and Fico de Amalfi definitely bring the Mediterranean into perfume form. Both of them are really, really great. Again, I don't know which one is my favorite of the two, but they're definitely top for me from the Blue Mediterranean collection. And both of them, as a 200 ml bottle, are $110 currently. So I'm highlighting this next one because rarely Diptyque fragrances go on sale. I think this is also a great price for this fragrance, because normally this is around $200 for 100 ml. As a tester, it's $138. This is Lombredon L'Eau. So Lombredon L'Eau is also a very, I think, Mediterranean fragrance to me. Super green and viney. And I think this is cassis, leaves, and fruit, and also rose. So there's a very distinct smell in here. I think this fragrance is also, kind of similar to the very popular Bay candle from Diptyque. I think they're inspired from one another. I think maybe this fragrance came first before the Bay candle, but my very first introduction was to buy a Bay candle in the very early or late 90s, early 2000s, and fell in love with it. And I think it was the rate, and like it was very popular at that time for that kind of a smell of candles. This kind of is different a little bit, but if you like green notes, this is definitely one for you to try. But it's also mixed in with fruits. There's a fruitiness in there, and then there's also the rosiness in there as well. It's almost like the rose is really nicely brushed off, and you've covered it up with, the fruits and the greens, an overdose of greens, and the rose is trying to peek through, but you can smell it, but it's not about the rose for me. But it's super green. It also has a little bit of a tomato leafy effect, but it's just a really great fragrance. Probably the most popular from the house of Diptyque. What do you guys think? So that's Lombredon L'Eau. In the EDT, it's a tester for $138. Normally it's about $200 for that, suggested retail price. I've got a fragrance here from the house of AFFINESCENCE. It's Combava Cedrat. And I think this is referring to the Kefir lime. So Cedrat and Combava, I guess. So to me, this is also very invigorating citruses. And it's selling for $151 as 100 ml. Normally, it's 100 ml for $260. And this is part of AFFINESCENCE's Top Notes collection. Notes de tête, I think that's what it says right here. Top Notes. So these are two top notes, the Kefir lime, and then also the Cedrat. It's very lemony. It's a bit tart. It's a bit like Aqua Viva, maybe a bit like Eau d'Adrienne. It's super fresh, a bit tart, as I said. But very invigorating and very like summery. Like it's a very sunshine and kind of like in a bottle, I should say. But if you like citruses, I think this is definitely one for you to try. I think it might have a bit of inspiration from like those two fragrances I said, the Eau d'Adrienne, maybe Aqua Viva, or anything that's like super lemony. Smells great though. So that is Combava Cedrat from AFFINESSENCE. That is 100 ml for 151. So I've got a little bit of a curveball here, but I think you can totally wear it in the summertime. This is 100 ml for 55, normally around $150. So it's a really great deal right now. It's Costume National's Paper Plane. So it's in this white bottle. It comes off a bit minimalistically and a bit musky, but there are also woods and aromatics thrown in here. Paper Plane, what does it do? It floats around. That's kind of the experience with this one. If you like powdery offerings, spicy, aromatic, woody, definitely you'll be enjoying this one. It's not super ambroxan forward, so if you don't like those, if you don't like those kind of fragrances, you might dig this one. But it definitely has that kind of an experience. So it's very airy, ethereal. Just imagine something floating in air like a bird or the paper plane. I think it's a great name for it because that's exactly how the fragrance wears. And it's Costume National as well. So it's a house that used to have distribution here in the States, and they don't. So also I should say, now that we're talking about Costume National, if you are not registered yet to attend Scentfest SF, please do. Costume National will be there, and you're able to come and smell all their fragrances. And they're also their sister company that's called Juicebox, which I collaborated on a fragrance with, is also going to be at Scentfest SF. It's coming around the corner. It's June 26, 27, and 28 to get your tickets to attend. It's the first of its kind here on the west coast of the United States, and one that will become a yearly event. And we're celebrating all things fragrances. You'll be able to, check out, experience over 100 fragrance houses, and you'll be able to smell over 500 fragrances. Plus, there's going to be some really awesome experiences there. We've just signed on algorithmic perfumery. We have Osmotech coming, where you'll be able to smell 25 old fragrance formulas from the archives of the Osmotech, and you'll be able to also create fragrances in at the show. So there are a few companies that are coming that have capabilities of blending, so you'll be able to do those kind of experiences at the show as well. Plus, we're putting together a great collection of panels. So you'll be able to experience 5 to 6 panels a day for the 3 days. So get yourself a 3-day pass. It's not very expensive, and it's like I said, 3 days of awesome fragrance fun, and it's on the water, on the coast, overlooking the Golden Gate Bridge, Alcatraz, and the San Francisco Bay. So it's at Fort Mason. It's going to be an awesome show. There's going to be some surprise appearances from very famous people. That's also really fun. So if you haven't, registered yet, please do, because again, you'll want to be attending the very first of an event that I plan on doing yearly. But let's go back to Paper Plane. As I was saying, you can also, experience the fragrances of Costume National, Juicebox, and many other brands. Lucky Scent also just signed on, guys. So if you have ever wanted to meet the folks at Lucky Scent, they're bringing 8 brands. So they're going to have a really nice booth that you'll be able to check out some of their distributed and exclusive brands. So anyway, Paper Plane. One last thing I should say. Again, it is 100 ml for 55. Normally it's around 150 for 100 ml. There's a little bit of a pepperiness with this one as well, with that whole ethereal, floaty, airy kind of experience. So I've got a feminine fragrance here, but I felt like I should talk about it because it is fairly inexpensive. This fragrance normally retails for $285. It's 100 ml for $96. So this is Essence Rare from Houbigant. It is feminine, and if you like floral fragrances, you might really dig this one. I think it's a Jean-Claude Elena creation, and it's very floral, super duper floral. And for me, jasmine comes to mind, and a vintage effect comes to mind as well. So, but it's super inexpensive, under $100 for that beautiful bottle that normally is about $300. So you're saving over 50% off on that. So it's a great price. You must be into a bit more vintage, fragrances, and also more jasmine forward. And I should say the jasmine is a bit on the indolic side, so just be warned if you don't like indolic fragrances, this might not be it for you. But I think it's super gorgeous and very vintage. So it's 100 ml for $85. Normally 100 ml for, wait, did I say the right price? 100 ml for $96. Normally 100 ml for $285 from the house of Houbigant. This next fragrance is super awesome. I've been hyping it, but I'm going to probably do a short video about it very soon. This is Boss's, the collection Vigorous Cologne. It turned out to be a great blind buy because I've been buying a lot of these fragrances. I've got a video on the channel about the ones I have. If you like classic old school style, cologne fragrances for men, but more focusing on aromatics, spices, mossy notes, and green notes, and a lot of citruses, this is so awesome. One of the best. In fact, this might be my second favorite next to the musk from this collection. It's so good. It's really, really perfect for summer as well. It is right now 100 ml for $70. Normally these are over $300. It's not super long lasting. I think it has great lingering power, but it's a citrusy kind of aromatic fragrance, paying tribute to the classic men's cologne style fragrances, but very, very nicely done. It's so good. And the greenness, the mossiness in the base, all the citruses and aromatics and spices and woods, very, very nicely done. Great perfumer as well. His creations are awesome. I'm really liking them. Forgetting his name though, sadly. I've been mentioning I want to do a video on his creations, so we'll do that very, very soon. But don't skip out on this one. This one's 100 ml, $70. Normally it's $300. You won't be disappointed if you like a little bit of an old school classic men's cologne vibe. Very modern creation though. Definitely check out Vigorous Cologne from the Hugo Boss collection. I've got all the fragrances timestamp tagged if you don't remember. So any fragrance that you like the sound of, you can look through the chapters, click on it, and there should be a little button that pops up on the screen on the left bottom. Click on that button. It opens up a long list of all the tagged products, and you can shop within YouTube shopping. All right, the next fragrance is from the house of Atelier Cologne. This is Love Osmanthus, a 200 ml for $70. These 200 mls are definitely somewhere in the ballpark of $300. So it's a great fruity Osmanthus focused fragrance that's fresh and fun and playful. Osmanthus is a flower that is smelling like apricots. So if you like the idea of fruity apricots and the smell, this is one that you would pull for. It's very, very fresh and invigorating and very cozy as well, I think. If you don't like citruses, you want the focus note to be floral and fruity, this is one for you to try. It's very, very pleasant and very, very cozy. And it's more of fresh apricots rather than dried apricots. So just imagine you just picked a bunch of apricots and you're smelling them right off the tree. There's that smell. This is kind of what you get with Love Osmanthus. And it's 100 ml for $70. That's a great price. It's totally inexpensive for that. All right, next one is from the house of NISHANE. It's Hesperide Colognise, 100 ml for $79. Normally it's 100 ml for $195. Once again, a great price on this. This is the third of the Colognise fragrances, and it's highly discounted. And in the end, it's a very citrus forward, but also aromatics and spices thrown in, and some woods and maybe some musky notes in the dry down. It wears very fresh. It wears very cologne, but it's so super soothing and sparkling, and it just transports me to a vacation. Some of the citrus fragrances does that for me, and this one definitely does, on the Mediterranean coast once again. And Turkey happens to be on the Mediterranean. Of course, NISHANE is from Turkey. But really lovely, very, very clean, very, very sparkling. And paying tribute to the kind of old school, traditional eau de cologne style fragrances, but this is, I think, a very modern recreation. So that is Hesperide Colognise, 100 ml for $79. Normally 100 ml for $195. So the last three fragrances I've got coming from MIZENSIR. Man, these tall bottles, I always tell myself they're so tall, and when I'm moving around, they're going to get knocked over. So I've got to figure out a different way to put these. But the next three fragrances are from MIZENSIR. And I've got For Your Love next. Normally these are $285. I'm sorry, no, that's not For Your Love. This is For Your Love right here. So 100 ml for $100 as a tester. Normally it's $285. And this is, I love wearing this in the summertime. It's got a fruitiness, and I think that's what does it, but it's patchouli, it's a bit benzoin, a lot of musky notes, molecular notes. It's super sexy, great projection, compliment getter. And this one you definitely need. If you like something like Baccarat Rouge, but not Baccarat Rouge. It acts like it doesn't smell like it to me. It's awesome. I still love this a lot. I've been wearing it since 2019. 2019, I should say. And it's Baccarat Rouge has gotten so, like, everybody wore it. It's like, okay, I'm done with it, even though I love the smell. This one wasn't like that. It wasn't that successful. It acts like it to me, but I think not many people know it as much as they know Baccarat Rouge, if that makes sense. But $100 for this as a tester, it's a great price. You don't need full presentation, and it'll be a great summer fragrance. It's very musky. It's got patchouli. It's got a little bit of amber notes. It's got the raspberry fruitiness, but a lot of musky notes as well. So good, so good. You've got to have this in your collection if you're a fan of the fragrances I love. So that's For Your Love by MIZENSIR. This next one's also 100 ml for $120. It's not a tester. This is Blue Gin. If you like fragrances what's the name of the fragrance from MFK? Gentle Fluidity Silver. You're probably going to dig this one. It's a very cold, crisp, gin-like experience. And that's the idea, and it's perfect for warm weather. So it's crisp, it's icy, it's a bit metallic. Cold steel comes to mind, but it's all about juniper and aromatic notes and spices to give you this very icy, cold gin experience. I think it's a great alternative for Gentle Fluidity Silver, and it's $120 for 100 ml versus $285 for 100 ml. And again, the price on this is much better than the price on MFK's Gentle Fluidity Silver. I mean, I like both, and they're very similar experiences. They don't have identical smells, if that makes sense. So Blue Gin, 100 ml for $120, and normally it's 100 ml for $285. And this next one is not necessarily a summer offering, but I'm going to highlight it here because it's one of my latest loves from the House of MIZENSIR. It's Legend Leather. I've worn quite a bit of it. Legend Leather, to me, 100 ml for $92 as a tester. Normally it's $285. What I love about this is leather, but it's got kind of like molecular notes in there as well. And it acts super sexy, lots of woods. It's slightly animalic, but not over the top animalic. And off of me, it smells great because the projection is awesome. I haven't gotten a compliment on this one, so I can't say it's a compliment getter because it is leather. But to me, the way it's created, it's so, so awesome. So if you like leather, again, it's not appropriate for summer if you have a rule wearing freshies for the summer versus like deep fragrances. But for me, it's an amazing creation from this house. I mean, I still prefer For Your Love, but I think this one is also really turning out to be a favorite. So that's the last fragrance, Legend Leather, 100 ml for $92. And those are the deals I have for you guys today, this Memorial Day weekend. Let me know if you have these. Let me know if you've been eyeing them. Get them before the deals run out, because the deals do run out. Sometimes they run out by the time the videos air. So take advantage of them before they do. And don't forget Scent Fest, guys. I would really love to see you here to celebrate fragrances. Come out, tell all your friends, register, book your travel. I want to make this a yearly event. We set out to do this event because there were a few other events happening, but now with what's going on and how many brands we were able to bring on board, we're definitely going to make it a yearly event. But we want to make the very first one very very memorable. So I hope you guys are talking to your friends and booking your travel here to attend 3 days of fragrances and amazing time. Again, we've got some surprises that we are going to reveal soon. Our panels and talks, which are known as scent sessions, will also be revealed soon. There will be 5 to 6 a day for the 3 days. So there's going to be a lot of education that's happening at the show. And so stay tuned for those, but book your travel right away, book your tickets right away, and tell all your friends about the show because it is coming around the corner. And it's going to be a fun time. Anyway, thanks so much for watching today's video. If you have any questions or comments, please list below. Please like the video, please share it, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Please also subscribe to the Shorts channel, which is linked in the info box. And I am starting to post Shorts content there. There won't be any more Shorts content here. And last thing, I'm starting to do the no hat again. I did eventually end up going to a barber. Finally, the barber did do a good job on my hair. My hair was a mess because so many barbers were cutting my hair and they were just not cutting it right. So now I think we'll go back to doing hatless videos, and I don't have to, hide the messy hair. But yeah, that's it. I think stay tuned for a few videos also on some developments on the channel, and also, as I was been mentioning, I am launching a new fragrance at ScentFest, and I'll give you guys a bit more detail very soon on that. And I've also got a channel updates video that I'm planning on shooting, and that should air as well. But over the weekend, you'll probably see a summer-focused fragrance that's going to air as well. Anyway, thanks guys. See you later. Bye-bye. All right, I've got a couple of bonus options here that are really highly discounted that I'm thinking I'm going to take advantage of. The last time I did this video, I was not able to buy the bonuses, sadly, and I missed out on them, but these ones I'm going to try. So first of which is Juliette Has a Gun's Madeleine Imperiale. I can't believe it's $59 because I went to their website. It says $230 for 100 ml. It's 100 ml for $59. I'm just going to bite the bullet and buy it. It doesn't, I don't think it has the best reviews, but I don't really read reviews. I saw the stars, but it is a really great deal if it's a suggested retail price for $230. Does anybody know Madeleine Imperiale? Do you enjoy it? Let me know, add a comment below. The next one is a brand that I'm not too familiar with. I've actually met her once before, and I never was able to buy any of her fragrances. I had smelled them at an event in Milan during Essence. That's where I met Keiko Mecheri. But this is Precious Forest, and 100 ml for $48. So that's a great price because I think her fragrances are over $200 for 100 ml. So I'm going to buy Precious Forest from Keiko Mecheri. If anybody knows about it, let me know. It does say Precious Forest, but I don't think it's anything that smells like a forest. I think it's more of a vanillic fragrance. And the last fragrance I'm going to buy, Mancera's Fig Me Up. I've never been able to smell this one. 120 ml for $70. Normally 120 ml for $200. So this is a great price for this. It's less than it's more than 50% off. So it's 50% off would be 100. So it's 70. So it's a really great price. So I'm going to buy that as well because I really love fig and fragrances, and sadly I never got a chance to smell this one. Is it a good one by Mancera? Because they've launched a few good fragrances, and I'm wondering if this one is great as well. So let me know. Fig Me Up, are they worth it? Madeleine Imperiale, Precious Forest, Fig Me Up. Let me know. Add a comment below, and I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.